Hello and welcome to the Abuja Center this beautiful misty morning in the Federal Capital Territory. My name is Mwagozi Njoko and this is Signature Morning. I'm not misty in the face, I'm rather bright in the face. Now, why am I doing that? Because I want to see whether I can untie a particular knot that seems to be getting tighter and tighter, at least from my own observation. And what is it? Now, the All Progressive Congress is rolling out the drums in celebration. Opposition parties are collapsing into the APC. The entire state apparatus of Delta State, if you remember, moved into APC, including a former vice presidential candidate of almighty PDP. Or the entire structure collapsed into APC. And that was a cause for political celebration. Then, just a few weeks ago, the entire Enugu state moved en masse from governor to senators, to members of the House of Representatives, to the state legislature, to ward chairmen, and all of them transferred their loyalty and the entire structure into APC. Now listen to this. A sitting governor, Governor Adeleke of Osun State, has woken up and said, I endorse Tinubu for presidency in 2027. And Soludo Abga of Anambra State says it is Tinubu's APC that should win the 2027 presidential election. Now watch it. There are two fears. First fear that I had expressed earlier is Nigeria gradually moving into a one-party state since opposition is collapsing. Now the more important question. Each of these collapsing structures is carrying with it power interests, political opportunity interests, ambitions, power control points, and they're all entering into one basket. And biologists tell us that when there are too many rabbits in one hole, the rabbits will begin to bite their tails. APC, the APC hole, can it accommodate all these rabbits with all their political interests and ambitions, some of them looking at being president in how many years to come? Some of them be looking to become vice presidential candidates. Every one of them is likely to want to be minister. There are those who are looking towards being the governor. And there are limited spaces. APC has limited tickets because positions are limited. Will these dogs of war not begin to turn against themselves? That is the issue this morning. Can APC manage all the power interests collapsing into it? Is the party strong enough to determine for itself what it wants fairly, freely, not even when tough men are all entering? This morning, I have Bala Ibrahim. Bala Ibrahim is the director publicity for APC. He tells the APC story. Bala, welcome to the program.
Welcome. Thank you very much, Chief. It's my pleasure being with you this morning.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sure that you're one of those singing the beautiful song of It Is Well with APC, because you're harvesting so many people coming in. I mean, it's a pride that you will soon become Africa's biggest political party. Are you celebrating?
Yes, indeed. In politics, the ambition of every political party or politician is to increase in quantum, increase in number, increase in reach, and increase in the celebration of the distribution of democratic dividends. That is the ambition of APC, not just as a political party, but as a progressive party. A party that has big ambition for the country and for democracy. So when we get to a situation where more people are beginning to understand the mission and vision of the party, and they begin to understand that the party we belong to is the vehicle of choice for those who really want to see improvement in democratic atmosphere, we have no reason not to celebrate. We celebrate not just because of our increase in number, but increase in the dissemination of information that enriches democracy. And that is where we are today. We are very happy that more people are beginning to understand what our party is doing, and they are appreciating what we are doing, as a result of which they are changing the banner to the party that is doing that which is expected of democracy.
But people join political parties, as you just said, because they understand. APC has a philosophy. APC has its driving objectives. If I am a Roman Catholic, I will be praying Hail Mary. If I'm a Muslim and I understand, I won't trifle with the name of Allah, and I won't trifle with the name of Prophet Muhammad. Are you sure that all these people coming into APC really are people coming because they understand the philosophy of the party, or are they opportunity seekers coming to rent APC to arrive at where they want to arrive?
Well, Chief,
are they convinced people?
There is a difference between religious doctrine and political doctrine. Religious doctrines are ordained and dished out by God, and you have to go by the dictates of that doctrine. No change, no substitution, no negotiation, no compromise.
But when you believe, you join.
You have to have faith, and an unconditional faith. You submit to the will of God. No change. In politics, there is a difference. The doctrines are not doctrines that were dished out by God. These are doctrines that are written and dished out by people according to desire, according to wish, according to circumstances. And these circumstances are not sacrosanct. They change with time. Now, when the drums change, the dance
they also change.
They change. If you are a good politician, you must have an ambition. And your ambition is to get to do something that will fulfill the wishes of your people. How do you do that? You want to seek a route, a road that will be easy, convenient, and will show you the deliverables. If the road you are following or the path you are following is embedded with dangers or obstacles, and you cite an alternative and safer route, wisdom dictates that you follow that route, provided it gives you the opportunity to deliver those things you have ambition of delivering. So in politics, you will see people changing. They change side, they change sign. It is not a sin. Unlike in religion, if you change side and you change sign, it may be a sin. So there is nothing new about that. Simply because people change party because of changes in philosophy or because of changes in circumstances does not make the situation abominable.
Let me ask, is it because they see that the Tinubu political dynasty is a moving train which they cannot stop? Whether they believe in the driver or not, for as long as they can ride safe, they enter, and therefore they join APC.
You see, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is one person that needs to be studied. His way of doing things needs to be studied. And anything he does so with careful calculation. He has vision. And he is not a person or a man that is in a haste to arrive at his destination recklessly. He always moves cautiously. So if people see him doing things, particularly people who have studied him, check his antecedents, and they begin to align with what he does, I don't think those people are being careless. I think they are reasoning with wisdom, and they are doing that which ought to be done in a system that is maturing, particularly a system like Nigerian political system.
But let me just take from our own experience, our collective experience, the experience of you and I. It is tough paying house rent today. Very tough. It is tough filling the tank of your car and coming to work every day. Very tough. It is tough receiving money from your sons or your daughters, because as the money lands, the taxman takes away something. It is tough. It is tough going to the pharmacy to buy your drugs if you are at my age, for instance. Bala, it is tough. Do you know that it is tough to buy fruits to eat on a regular basis? Bala, it is tough. Can I talk about insecurity that is challenging the country? It is tough. And these are the products of an APC government that has become so attractive for these bridegrooms to move in. What is so solicit? What is wonderful about this APC groom? That, unless you disagree with me, what I've just said, that becomes so attractive for all the ladies, political ladies, to be extending their hand to say, look, marry me.
Well, all the things you listed about life and the situation Nigeria finds itself today being tough are true. But the toughest of them all is the ability and the strength to accept change. Change is the toughest thing for anybody that is living, because people always want to remain in the situation they are for fear of the unknown. They don't know what the next thing will be, as a result of which they are fearful accepting change. The APC as a party is a progressive party. By progressive, it means it is a party that is open to reforms. It is a party that is always willing to make changes that will pave way for forward movement. And for you to do that, it is like a person or a chef that is in the kitchen trying to make omelette. He or she necessarily has to break eggs. The chicken that laid the eggs will not want that egg or eggs broken. The person that is breaking the eggs will not be loved by the chicken. While he or she is breaking those eggs, he or she may be seen as rendering damage or carrying out demolitions. But when the omelette is laid on the table, on the dining table, and you commence eating,
it becomes a sumptuous meal.
Sumptuous meal. So that is the situation the APC finds itself today. Yes, it's tough to fill tanks. It's tough to eat. It's tough to parent. It's tough to do this. It's tough to do that. But we are beginning to see the fruits of the labor of bringing that tough situation. As I speak to you today, there is no fueling station in Abuja that has queues. Time was when, in an amber period like this, people queue up in fueling stations for weeks to get fuel. Today, fuel is expensive, but it's available. Time was when nobody will dare come to the location of this studio where we are now because of insecurity. Bombs were blowing up everywhere in Abuja, the seat of power. Today, you can drive blindfolded anywhere. You don't see sandbags, you don't see security men, you don't see people frisking, checking you before you enter supermarket, mosque, church, or wherever because of improvement in security. Yes, time was when food was very expensive. Even at the onset of this government, rice was very high. The price of rice was very high. But believe you me, check the situation in the market today. The needle is turning down, which means changes are introduced, which started with pain, but people are beginning to get relief. So changes, when they are introduced, they always come to the people with fear, anxiety, uncertainty. So they tend to hold back. They don't want to accept them. But once they accept them, and they accept them in good faith, and the government that is introducing the changes is doing so with the interest of the people at heart, like the APC is doing, sooner or later, people will come to realize that, yes, APC is a party that means well for the people, it means well for the country, it means well for democracy. And that's what we're doing.
But I'm not going to put pressure on you respect of economic policies. The core of this conversation really is on APC as a party. But since we have broached the matter of the economy a little bit, just give me only 5 minutes, let us dwell on it a little longer. The report of the IMF just last week was not rosy for Nigeria. And let me recall that in my interview with Uba Ahmed, the then strongman of MPN, the National Party of Nigeria, under Alhaji Shehu Shagari, he said to me that the very policies, I'm not putting these words, that the very policies that Tinubu has accepted today, which Babangida broached, which late President General Buhari rejected in 1979, I think 1983, and rejected while he was president. That why they rejected those policies were because at the inception, the same policies were recommended to Japan at the end of the Second World War. Japan tried it and discovered that its economy was going down. It turned it down. In modern society, Argentina tried it and got into chaos. They recommended it to Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is in a mess. Ghana accepted it a few years ago. Ghana is turning back on it. After they praised Ghana and praised Ghana. And now we are buying it hook, line, and sinker. Is it because we have wonderful economic managers that can manage the toughness of these policies? Or are we giving ourselves a way to be managed from Washington? Please help me.
You see, if we go back to what the IMF said about our economic situation,
yes, it wasn't rosy.
We must not take the words of IMF as the words of God.
Yeah, but
it's a question
the same policies that we're implementing were recommended from Washington by them, by the experts. They have given it to us once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. 3 or 4 administrations rejected them, and now Tinubu is, no, I won't say Tinubu now. The APC is bold enough to embrace it. And you're telling me it's change, the pain that comes with it. Please help me.
You see, the fact that you try a method, it fails, does not mean if I try the same method, it necessarily must fail. It's all a question of methodology, determination, and the will to stand to the meaning of perspective. What I see as a glass half empty may be seen as glass half full by you. And depending on how we do it, we'll still arrive at the same or better level of the water. So IMF prescription for Nigeria from Washington may not necessarily be the solution to Nigeria's problem. After all, America is the most indebted nation in the world.
And we're trying to compete.
And America has not been castigated or criticized so by the IMF, which is residing in America. The circumstances of one country differ from the circumstances of another country. It all depends on the will of the driver. It all depends on the will of the pilot. Distance to destination may differ even if you travel at the same speed. So Nigeria under APC is implementing a domestic solution to domestic problems. And we believe if there is patience and perseverance by the people, we are going to defeat the naysayers. The critics can say whatever they wish to say, but we are optimistic and we believe in what we are doing, that the end will justify the means, and at the end of the day, we are going to get out of the woods.
But let's come to the APC as a political party. When I was introducing this program, I said that political parties have their objectives. There are functions they are supposed to be playing within the polity. And that if they themselves are shredded or confused or there's internal conflict, can they deliver on the mandate or the expectations of the people? And you and I began by saying that APC has been rolling on the drums, and we justify rolling on the drums because in politics you want more number, create more perspectives, for as long as you can deliver the dividends of democracy. Let us look at those that APC is accepting in to the party. I began by telling us the entire data structure collapsed. Now the governor of Bayelsa State, the entire structure in Akwa Ibom State, the big story from the southeast, the entire Enugu State moving into APC. Ambala, you are into politics. Each of these entrants into APC and their followers have or has a political ambition. Some of them aspire to being commissioners, some of them aspire to being senior special assistants, some of them aspire to be presidents in the next 15, 10 years, whatever it is. Some of them aspire to being governors. Some of them want to push their sons or daughters or friends and associates into party offices so that they can control certain things. And these positions are limited in number. And so the contest will be fiercer, more contentious, if not more acrimonious. Your party, the APC, is it strong enough to withstand all these forces around it, centripetal forces that will pull it apart? Does it have the mechanism? Does it have the capacity? Not when it's accommodating so many strong men. Can you help me?
One of the things the APC is trying to teach politicians or the country or democracy is the importance of the virtue of patience, tolerance, doing things in turns. We all can't be the president of this country at the same time. It has to be one president at a time. But we all have the right to aspire, to have the ambition of being the president of this country all the time. It is a legitimate ambition. But if we believe in patience, perseverance, and the importance of allowing things to happen when they are supposed to happen, there will be no stampede in getting to the position of the president. If I may take you down the lane of history, the present president of the country, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, had said so long ago that being the president of Nigeria is a lifetime ambition. And he had what it takes to be the president of this country more than 20 years ago. He made people to be the president. And he had the ambition of being the president. And he has what it takes to be the president. But he did not play the overzealous. He did not play the do or die politics. He waited and he allowed those that have lesser qualities than him to be, simply because he believed in things happening when it is time for them to happen. Today he is the president, and by the grace of God, he will continue being the president until he finishes his second term. The APC is encouraging and teaching people not to fall over each other in the aspiration for position, not to see position as a do or die affair, to put the interests of the party and the people before personal interest. That is why you see recently rancor, acrimony, and infightings during primaries in the struggle to fill candidates for positions have reduced, because the party is encouraging and teaching people to be patient, to go by the rules of the book of the party, and to behave as matured politicians. So that is why all this fear of people with conflicting or competing interests coming together will lead the party into implosion or collapsing will not happen. As long as the people coming into the party have agreed to work by the terms and the references that are given out by the leadership of the party, all those fears will be cleared. The APC has established the Progressive Institute, which is aimed at cleansing the minds and making politicians to understand how to play politics without bitterness. So there will be less of those things that people fear within the APC and in its struggle to fill candidates for position. As I speak to you today, the party had endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for a second term in the event that he accepts to contest. But as I speak to you, he has not said he has accepted that offer. Which means...
this is a critical comment you're making, because Nigerians would want to hear it again, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is a member of the All Progressives Congress APC, who is still to finish running his first term, has not yet, mark that word, has not yet accepted that he will run for a second term. Can you repeat that?
Yes. The party in its midterm clinic had endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for a second term in the event that he indicates interest. In the event that he indicates interest. The party said it has no objection
If he does
indicates interest.
But he who been given that opportunity is yet to indicate interest.
Officially, he has not done so. So, yeah, you see, it means desperation is not there. It means the fear that it's going to be a do or die affair is not there. It means the president is more interested in finishing the term he was mandated to do than thinking about a second term. That is not to say he will not at a later time come to indicate interest. If he does so, and it is at the right time, that is not in conflict with the electoral provision, so be it. I am sure the party will not change its position. I am sure there will be a way where other people who have similar interests from the party will be made to see reason, or they will be asked to go ahead and contest against him through a transparent primary that will bring out a winner. So these are some of the things the party is doing to discard the fear of implosion, the fear of collapse, or the fear of conflicting interests creating problem for the party as of the time of interest of fielding candidates.
Bala, are we talking in Nigeria, you and I this morning, or are we talking in heaven? You know the Nigerian politician, over time, why would, Bala, please, suppose I was a member, I decided to join APC this morning. At my age, I'm heading to 8 years. Will ask me to be patient because I want to be president before I die? How will you teach me that lesson? I want to be president. Atiku Abubakar is 70-something, close to 80, and somebody tells him, be patient. Can I bring another Nigerian? Maybe when Edwin Clark was alive and if he was interested, you tell him to be patient. Can you tell me a patient politician in Nigeria? I'll agree with you, this philosophy of patience. I'll agree with you. Because we are not all young people in the party.
Well, I can tell you one, confidently and comfortably. One patient politician in Nigeria today is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I can tell you that he has demonstrated patience, and his patience has paid off. The beauty of life is that death has no calendar. You are much older than me, but that is not to say I will live longer than you. That is something for destiny. That is something ordained by God. So patience does not mean you have a boarding pass to board your plane and that the time is not announced and you feel by the time the time is announced it will be too late for you. No, nobody knows when he will go. You may live probably longer than 100 and something. That is God's
if it is so
destined. And may that be, and may God give you the health and wealth to live through.
Amen.
So patience, by what? By definition, is the ability to be tolerant, to be calm, collective, and take out anxiety. That is why people who go into the hospital and they are on admission, or even if they are not on admission, they are treated as outpatients. They are nicknamed patient because the doctor is going to administer medication on you, and you must not come with the anxiety that you have to be relieved of that ache. No. Just be patient. You have come in as a diseased person. By the grace of God, you'll be discharged as an eased person. So patience here in politics is just the patience to follow the rules, the patience to have confidence in the system, the patience to continue believing in the dictates and terms of democracy. Don't be impatient as to do that which will discredit democracy and truncate what is planned for the betterment of the country for long. That's what I mean by patience.
Okay. Well, signature morning this morning, we're looking at all the harvest of defections into APC. Will APC be able to manage it, I ask? Bala, the director of publicity for APC, says to me they have a mechanism and they have a philosophy of patience. Take it easy. It could be your turn. We take a short break, and when we return, this patience, this collapsing of opposition into APC, and it's going around the country. ABGA is endorsing Tinubu, PDP governor endorsing Tinubu, the party itself is endorsing his candidature, even though Bala says the president has not officially indicated his intention. What will it lead to? In contrast with, or in fact to, multi-party democracy. Is Nigeria headed towards a one-party state? As APC rolls out the drum, harvesting these defections and political parties collapsing their entire structure into APC, and APC now bringing the new doctrine of patience, making sure that the rabbits don't begin to bite their tails, are we all collapsing into Soviet Union? Charles Dickens, I've always said on this program, said, ask no questions and if you'll be told no lies. This morning, we'll ask Bala questions after this short break. Please stay with us. You are welcome back. I still have my guest in the studio, Bala Ibrahim, Director, Publicity, All Progressives Congress, the ruling party in Nigeria. Bala, before we went on the short break, I painted a scenario. The parties are collapsing to APC and APC is rejoicing. And you have used this expression, the dividends of democracy. And democracy is not a one-party situation. Democracy means choices, many parties. Now, if opposition progressively collapses into all progressives Congress, and there is only one general standing, are we in a democracy? Are we in a multi-party democracy? Are we heading towards one-party APC state?
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that if parties in the opposition progressively move towards the all-progressive Congress, that is progress for democracy, and that is in tandem or in line with the ambition of democracy.
That all of us should be headed into one progressive party?
No, not all of us.
Okay.
But most of us can go without problem. The ambition of democracy is to have a system whereby the majority have their way and the minority have their say. It is not the ambition of the APC or democracy that there should be no minority. No, there can be minority. But that is not to say if the minority is willing to move with the majority, you must fence them, you must stop them, you must prevent them. No.
It is their choice.
It's their choice. Democracy gives choice, and it wants people to align with their choice, and nobody should deny anyone the right to choose. So the more the merrier. The more people move to the APC for us as a progressive party, the more we rejoice and the better for us, and it's not in conflict with the wishes of democracy.
But I suppose it's not in conflict with the wishes of democracy if all of us join APC?
It is not in conflict. If all of us All of you, if you decide to join, actually there are enough seats in the bus. If all of you decide to join the APC, there is
all well and good.
Well and good. There is nothing wrong with that, and nobody should deny you. Because to do otherwise is to run contrary to the ambition of democracy.
Of the people.
Oh, very good. But that is not to say the APC is working towards a one-party state. No, it is not doing so. People are misunderstanding a majority system of government and a one-party system of government. For you to have a one-party system of government, a lot has to be done. A lot. In fact, it calls for constitutional review.
Including all of us willingly joining one party.
Yes, there has to be a deliberate change in the constitution to accommodate a one-party system. That is what is happening, for instance, in China. That is what is happening, for instance, in North Korea. That is what is happening in Cuba. That is what is happening even close home, Eritrea. You have to change the constitution. So there is a difference between majority,
the people's choice,
very good,
and a constitutional provision.
Yes, a deliberate constitutional provision that prohibits opposition is different from deliberate decision of the people to align or move with the majority, which is in line with the ambition of democracy. Right? Nobody should stop the wish of the majority. The minority can do their objection and say, and they must be given the right to air their views. But that is not to say they should stop the majority, because their own wish or their right stops where the right of the majority begins. So these are constitutional provisions that have been taken care of, and they are in line with the wish or ambition of democracy. And that is exactly what the APC is doing.
Let me quote an APC senator, a gentleman I respect because we began meeting ourselves in the days of Ibrahim Babangida. Distinguished Senator Adams Oshiomhole, who spoke, not to me, open political campaign on television. And he said, if you join APC, all your sins are forgiven. So, if APC comes and shows you your sins, Bala, you can join them and your sins are forgiven. If APC comes and waves a tablet of my sins before me and I see them, I just go and join APC and all my sins are forgiven. Bala, in all conscience, I want to look you square in the face. Are you sure that these people joining APC are people whose sins and the tablets of their sins have not been displayed to them, and they decide to join APC in order to be forgiven? Are you sure of that?
Okay. Let's go in line with the rights.
Distinguished Senator Adams Oshiomhole.
Yes, and the right to express opinion. Everyone has the right to express his opinion. Everyone has an opinion, and your own opinion is just one out of the multitude of opinion. Adams Oshiomhole is a distinguished senator. He was a governor. He was the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress. He has been everything. But I can tell you one thing about Adam Oshiomhole. Adam Oshiomhole is a Democrat who believes in other people's right as well. Adam Oshiomhole is not above the Constitution. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is above Adam Oshiomhole. And if Adam Oshiomhole says something that runs contrary to the Constitution, the position of the Constitution prevails over the position of Adam Oshiomhole. I can tell you, although Adam Oshiomhole is a lawmaker, the law has not been changed in favor of that position he prescribed. So also sins differ. There may be forgivable sins, there may be unforgivable sins. In my religion, Islam, there are sins you commit and God forgives you, and there are sins you commit, God will not forgive you. Nobody, he said so. If you join another person with him, he will not forgive you. But all other sins, late coming, abusing someone and what have you, or whatever, can be forgiven. So if Adam Oshiomhole says Anyone that joins the APC and he has sins, his sins are forgiven. I can tell you that is not valid. As we speak today, the last entrant before the latest, the former governor of Delta State, was told in unmistakable language by the EFCC, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, that his sins are still being looked into and that investigations are ongoing and he will be prosecuted accordingly. If he comes out clean, so be it. But if he has questions to answer, he must answer them. He is an APC new entrant. He's a member of the APC.
So his sins are still hanging there.
Very good.
Like a sort of Damocles waiting for him.
Very good. The former governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, the last time I checked, he's still a member and a strong supporter of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and APC. He's still undergoing prosecution. His sins have not been forgiven or forgotten. This is to tell you that if you have sins and you join the APC,
your sins are not forgiven.
They are not forgiven until you are tried, and if you are not found wanting, that is the only time.
It's the court that will forgive you.
It is the court that will forgive you, not the party. So people who think crossing over to APC is crossing over to a safe haven and their sins will be forgiven, they are getting it wrong. And probably Adams Oshimole has said something which may not necessarily
help those who...
Yes, that's it. So the APC is not a party that condones illegality, corruption, misdeed in office, and you think once you join the party, you have gotten it, you get away with it. No, you join the party and you still face charges if there are questions asked about misconduct against you.
But let me shift a little bit into an ambush, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Everybody has been endorsing Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I watched the goings on in the Northeast Zonal meeting about 3 months ago. Why are they not endorsing the vice president?
We walk by the book. We walk by the provision of the rules of the party, and we walk by the provisions of the Constitution. In the Constitution, as far as I am concerned, I'm not a lawyer, it is one presidency. You don't have a ticket for the president and a different ticket for the vice president. If you have a president, it is assumed that he will come with a vice president. That is the provision of the Constitution. That is the position of the party. It has not changed. So it is not for the party to be talking about a president and a vice president. It's a twin ticket. They are together. Wherever the president is mentioned, it should be assumed. It should be assumed that there is a vice president, because the vice president will stand in the event of the absence of the president. So for people who are thinking that every time they say Tinubu, they must say Shatima, no, I think they are getting it wrong. Don't forget, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu got the ticket to contest, for the first time in the democratic history of this country, we had the term placeholder vice president. He didn't mention his vice president. Rather, he named someone as placeholder. That was the first time that terminology was used in our presidential system of government. Later, when it was time, they removed that placeholder and put in the right holder. And that's how Kashim Shettima emerged. So when he said placeholder and placeholder was used, nobody, there were no hues and cries.
There was a name in that placeholding position.
Yes, there was a name in that place, Ibrahim Masari. Yes. He was named as placeholder. But Ibrahim Masari knew then that he was not going to be the vice president. He was only sitting under the noun placeholder. He is not going to be the vice president. At that time, Kashim Shettima was not in contention, at least to the public. So what stops those people, the mischief makers who are saying Kashim Shettima is not being endorsed, is not being mentioned, from assuming that it's possible for that placeholder position to replay? It's all possible. So as far as the constitution is concerned, as far as the party is concerned, as far as the presidency is concerned, it is a single presidency. So we should not be splitting them and say Vice President Kashim Shettima must be mentioned alongside President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
But these are endorsements. They are not primaries, they are not elections. In other words, the party is expressing its acceptance that its candidate for the next election, as you and I have observed in this conversation, is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I've enumerated here the levels of APC that have endorsed Tinubu. The National Working Committee that have endorsed him, the APC Progressive Governors that have endorsed him, a number of zonal parts of the party that have endorsed him. As in fact, some PDP governors have endorsed him. So a number of groups have endorsed. Why is it difficult to say, look, let the ticket that has delivered this far, as you told me this morning, the Tinubu administration has done this and done it, money depend, we have turned the corner, as the president himself has said, and things are improving. It's a joint ticket. It's a single ticket. And that ticket is delivering according to you. If that ticket has delivered, why do we endorse one person and keep silent on the other person? But I want to be unkind to you. Is APC contemplating dropping Shettima Kashima as vice president?
I will ask with a question.
Please do.
Why aren't the doubting Thomases that want to extricate Kashim Shettima from the ticket, why are they not thinking otherwise? Why are they not saying or thinking that since the president is endorsed, it is a joint ticket, and that Kashim Shettima as the vice president is included? Why are they not thinking in that line?
Answer that question with another question.
Yes, sir.
Please, Bala. Has the vice president, by virtue of endorsement of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, been endorsed as in the single ticket?
What the party did exactly, let me put it to you, was a vote of confidence on the presidency. A vote of confidence was passed at the presidency, on the presidency, by the party. That clinic was carried out at the presidency, and it was a vote of confidence passed on the presidency, and Kashim Shettima is part of the presidency.
Can I extrapolate? You didn't say so. Can I extrapolate?
Go ahead.
What Bala has said this morning is that by the endorsement of the presidency, by the vote of confidence on the presidency by the APC, it means holders of that ticket have been endorsed. Am I correct?
Impliedly including Kashim Shettima.
Thank you very much. That's our conversation for this morning. The collapsing of so many political structures into the APC. The management of these big guns and many of these rabbits in one single hole. The new doctrine of patience. Take it easy, do things turn by turn, don't be in a hurry. Not even old age should make you to be in a hurry. The endorsement of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It is the vote of confidence in the presidency. In other words, the holders of that presidential ticket, a vote of confidence has been passed on them. I've asked the questions. Bala has given us answers. The conclusions are yours to make. He's made clear information available to us. What remains for me is to thank Bala Ibrahim, the Director of Publicity of APC, for finding time to be on our program this morning. Bala, thank you very much.
It's my pleasure, Chief. It's my pleasure being here.
And the conversation never stops. We keep making it an interesting morning every morning Monday to Friday. My name is Mwabu Zenjoko. Have a great day and good morning.